Good evening. We start with the developing story tonight. Members of Parliament have voted by 318 votes to 43 to remove Busisiwe Mkhwebane permanently as the public protector.
It comes after the Section 194 Inquiry Committee chairperson, Gobudile Janji, presented the committee's findings to the National Assembly today. Last month, the inquiry found that the suspended public protector, Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane, was not fit for office and recommended her impeachment.
This development brings an end to her tenure as public protector just a few weeks before his 7-year term was due to come to an end. Today's vote comes after the Speaker, Newzroom rejected requests by the ATM and the UDM for the votes to be carried out in a secret ballot.
Well, let's take you live to where these proceedings unfolded this afternoon. Athi Mtongana has been tracking that story for us. Athi, we knew coming into today that Mkhwebane's fate was pretty much sealed, but quite different to then actually have that happen.
Well, Kathy, I want to quickly get the reaction of the IFP, given the fact that they have work to do in KwaZulu-Natal. The Chief Whip has to fly to KZN. Thank you so much for your time. You are one of the political parties in the National Assembly voting in favor of the adoption of the report. Talk to us about the process and whether you feel that it was fair for Advocate Mkhwebane.
Well, we were regularly briefed by our member that served on the Honourable majority, and then all along we felt that the process was more than fair in that a number of opportunities were given to Advocate Mkhwebane and a legal team to deal with issues, but it seemed they were kicking for touch. And our impression was that they were waiting for after October so that nothing could have happened to her. And I'm glad that as Parliament we took a firm step. We asserted our right as an arm of the government, an arm of the state, to do what we had to do in terms of the Constitution. And I think, although it's quite historic, it's sad that we had to remove a person of her stature from that kind of office.
Quickly, before I let you go, one of the issues that came up, I think it was from the IFP's majority, talking about the influence of politics in that particular office. How are you going to avoid this, especially looking at the fact that you will be dealing with the ad hoc committee that's recommending a new appointment for that particular office? And we know the talk around Advocate Kalega, who's the acting public protector, for clearing the president on the Phala issue. When you hear such discussions again around the same office, how do you then, as parliamentarians, prevent that from taking place?
Well, I don't think it's going to be possible for us to get somebody that's completely apolitical. You know, there's going to be some political interference, influence, but we expect a person of integrity. And I think Professor Thuli Madonsela led with integrity, and she had her own view. She was strong-headed, and she took her decisions without fear or favor. So we just hope that the new person that's appointed will also operate in that manner, because we cannot have a situation where we come back to Parliament and want to remove a public protector or any member of a Chapter 9 institution.
I don't want to keep you any further. Travel safely to KZN. Thank you so much, the Chief Whip of the IFP. Now I'm going to bring in the Chief Whip of the Majority Party, Mkhwebane Majorina. Thank you once again for making time for Newsroom. Your reaction, let's start there.
I think members of Parliament from progressive parties, they were honest in their vote, starting from the debate where they said it is not true a favor, but the reality is the public protector of the name of Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane is not fit to hold office, and every step has been followed to the latter. Hence we supported her removal.
When I had a conversation with you earlier on, we talked about the last time we had ANC MPs, particularly senior ANC MPs, who voted against the party line, which was during the Phala report, and that was Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma, and her absence today?
Her absence today was a shock to me. She has no apology. She has no permission to be absent. I can account about others. I know their whereabouts. I don't know the whereabouts of Mama Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma. And as I usually do, I'm packaging the report to the Secretary General's office. It's high time that they act once and for all. It's enough now.
Do you think, because I think the sentiment from members of the public who are watching the developments here in Parliament, especially since the Phala issue, they're saying that senior politicians or MPs like Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma, they don't really see action being taken, and also noting their absence today. Do you think the ANC will really try to hone in on this particular matter?
Yes, the matter is already in the NTC. Remember, when they did the similar thing last year, there was no NTC in place. So 3 weeks ago, in the NWC, the matter was reported that they are now referred to NTC. NTC is going to act. He has already 2 cases that he must respond to. Now this one is going to be the 3rd one.
Okay. Before I let you go, now that the report has been adopted by the National Assembly, we presume it's going to be before President Cyril Ramaphosa's desk?
Yes, we have adopted immediately. The presiding officers are going to send the report to the president with all supporting documents and the outcome of voting. Remember, we appoint public protectors. It is as if there is anything that has to be to remove the public protector. It can only be National Assembly. And National Assembly has done its work to say now it's enough. We are removing her, and through the vote of 318 in support and 48 that was opposed to it, the vote carried that he must be removed.
All right, Chief Whip, thank you so much for your time. The Chief Whip of the ANC in the National Assembly, talking to us about the steps that will be taken against senior politician MP Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma, notably absent at today's sitting, where, of course, they were meant to vote in favor of the adoption of the report. 318 of the MPs in the National Assembly voting in favor of the adoption of the report, and 43 against, with 1 abstention from the Cope, Masuwa Likota. So these are the developments, Kathy. So now the next step is obviously for President Cyril Ramaphosa to confirm the report, and also notably in the House, some of the MPs were talking about the issue around the benefits that Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane will have to forfeit because of this move by the National Assembly to remove her from the office of the public protector.
Right, Athi Mtongana, will leave it there. Absolutely a historic day then when it comes to this decision that has been made in Parliament.